What's up guys? Today's video we are going to be going over the R33, getting it finished up and doing a lot of the final last touches that we weren't able to do in time for tuning. First step is getting the cooling system in this car a bit better. Before I showed up this morning, Alberto actually got the power steering set up pretty much done. I feel like we got those nice Chase Bay lines that go all the way to the rack now and eliminate those ugly ones.
No more of this stuff, that's all in the way and ugly.
So on top of that, he's basically been welding on a fitting to where it goes on to the pump, from the reservoir to the pump, so that way we can just have a nice line there as well. And about to pull out this old stinky radiator. I think if there's anything I've done very often on a car, I probably have the most experience with pulling radiators out of S chassis because of all the issues I had in the beginning with all my cooling in my SR car. If you're like OG, super OG subscriber, you remember I had a nightmare with that thing. It just turned out to be a bad coolant gauge. So for this car, I actually went with a Koyo radiator, mainly because these radiators are a little bit thicker. It's a nice all aluminum radiator. When you have the stock one, the plastic on top, since it's not all aluminum, can be prone to cracking. And the cool thing about this one, it should be direct bolt fit, so we can bolt on the factory shroud since we're still using the clutch fan, which is much better than an E-fan that we could fit in here. Especially as a street car, I think this will be the ultimate setup just to be like reliable, so the car won't ever overheat. Not that it did, but just to be precautionary, so if someone did want to, really beat on this car, they can. This thing's gonna look so nice in there. Here's a nice little side-by-side comparison of the old radiator that we're ditching. These plastic tanks can crack, and we don't want that. We just want to have a nice, reliable setup so you never have to worry about it. So if you notice, there's still like factory sensors and stuff, and in the Koyo, there's provisions for the factory sensor down there, and it also has all the little places that we need for the factory shroud to bolt right up, which I'll show you right now. One thing to always pay attention to whenever you're installing a new radiator in your car, a lot of radiators will come with the drain loose. So always check to make sure that this guy is tight, because you don't want to go install a new radiator and find out you're dribbling coolant, go crazy thinking that you have a bad head gasket when it was just a loose drain plug the whole time. I feel like that's something that I've done. I'm pretty dumb. All right, now check out how rad this is. This is why I'm so stoked on this radiator. This is the OEM shroud. Look at it, it just pops right in there. Look at that. No trimming or anything. Looks like factory, huh?
And look at that, it hugs the radiator just like the factory one too.
That's sick.
So nice.
The one, that like HPI radiator that I did on my Skyline, that's that super JDM whatever crap, I had to trim the factory shroud so much and it was super annoying. Where that's sick. This is actually a switch to turn on the factory like fan in front of the setup, I guess when the car gets hot. But anyway, it's pretty cool. It just has a rubber O-ring, and this one will just swap right over to the new radiator. Got the MPC hardware to make it look all nice, to hold on the shroud. Alright, let's drop it in there, try not to scratch everything up like I usually do. I was worried that we might have an issue with the AC lines because this one's a little bit thicker, but she sits right in there.
Nice.
Dude, that looks so much nicer in the bay.
It does, look at that.
Looks legit.
That's the missing piece right there.
I know. Look at that, my friend. Looks great. We might need to cut this radiator hose a little bit shorter though, because it's starting to kink a little bit since it's a little bit closer.
Yeah.
So if we just cut this a little bit shorter, that should relieve some of this weird bend pressure.
Alright, let's do it.
Another company called Dress Up Bolts hit me up and wanted to contribute to the R33 build, and they actually sent me out some purple titanium hardware for the valve cover on the R33. So should be pretty cool to just spice things up a little bit. I'll just switch some of this stuff over and then we should be chilling. In case you're dumb like me and need instructions, there you go. New hardware in there looks super cool. Nicer too than having to work with these, the like OEM Phillips heads. Kind of annoying to tighten the valve cover down, and it's kind of hard to tell how tight they are. So Allen's are nice and a little bit easier to access. Alberto used to complain when he worked at his old shop about having to do dash 20 coolant lines on Kelsey Rawlings' car when he built it. And I never really understood, because I remember when I started making AN lines myself, I was like, oh, I don't see what the big deal is. It's not really that hard. But I can only imagine, because this line that I'm making right now, this is dash 12, right? Now, this line is probably 50% harder to make than a dash 10 line. Why? I don't know. But the amount of force required just to press the end on and to get the hose seated right is so tough. And like we're dealing with like really nicely cut hose too. What, are you gonna like tell me I'm doing something wrong like you always do?
Look at dash 16 comparison.
Right, dash 16 versus dash 12. That's a big boy. I can only imagine. That's why Big Boost has such big boosty arms.
Somebody in the comments gonna be like, well, there's a tool made by this company, blah, blah, blah. It costs like $100,000 and it does it for you. We don't know about it.
Yeah,
comment below, we'll get it.
It's called a hose crimper. Even the extra force that it takes just for doing this part of making the fitting is crazy. I know we should be using AN wrenches, but Alberto doesn't like them. So we use adjustable wrenches here at LZ Factory. And so the idea is that basically we're gonna have a catch can somewhere down here, which we'll show you guys, and then we'll have the lines kind of come up and over like this. The concept of putting actual coolant in a car is so foreign to me. I'm so used to water and water wetter, but trying to be considerate, knowing that the person that wins this car may live in a place where they'll see sub-freezing temperatures. I forgot to talk about it the other day when we were over at Titan, but they actually had just finished up on my valve covers when we were over there. If you remember, we forgot to add baffling, so they went ahead and welded in some baffling for us. So if you've noticed, it has these plates in here now, so the oil can't just go right up through our vents, and it's just little holes drilled just to let it breathe, and hopefully that will catch the oil and then it'll drip back in. Kind of a cool design. I know it's what they use in a lot of their cars, so hopefully that will help with the blow by a lot. If you guys remember, one of the things that has been missing on this build is a proper catch can. Even though we saw like nothing come out of the fittings that we had on the valve cover when it was on the dyno, it's still very important to have a catch can on the car. I've just been too lazy to order one, so your boy Alberto happened to have a catch can at his house, and I was like, yo, let me get that.
Yeah, I get the coolest one. You better be glad that I'm able to like willingly let you utilize such a catch can. Okay,
well, you're sounding a little bit too nice right now. We should go ahead and say that Alberto did reach out. So this is a company that actually sent him this catch can, Nuke Performance. Where'd you say they're from?
They are from Sweden.
They said if Alberto gave that to me, they would replace it. So that's very cool, my Swedish friends. Tell me about this catch can, my friend.
Well, I reached out to Nuke Performance because they make like really cool stuff. Like you can see everything in a CNC machine, and the finish on this thing is just outstanding. One of the things about this is like it fits pretty much anywhere because it's slim. This one's the 1 liter version. They do make a half liter version. It's like a little bit like for like half the length of this. And then inside is baffled. I think they have like some sort of like media thing.
We could open it up. It's kind of cool.
Also, you can just show entrance here.
Yeah.
There you got all that stuff in there.
It kind of looks like confetti.
Yeah, and that like needs to be washed like, I don't know, they recommend to wash it like every year or something. Mm-hmm. So like it doesn't get like all clogged up. This like, you can like stick it apart like this. Pretty cool.
It kind of sounds like a coffee mug.
So you got
dude,
like this
imagine how sick it would be. Oh, dude, can we get a piece machine for the lid and use this as a coffee cup? Think about how much iced coffee you could fit in this. Dude, and then where the dipstick is, that could be a straw.
Really? That's gonna be pretty hard. So yeah, it actually has a dipstick too to check the level. That way you don't have to be like, oh, let me drain it to see how filled it is. You can actually have a stick to actually check the level.
Dude, seriously though, this would be the most baller coffee mug. I'm gonna hit them up. I wonder if they make me a coffee mug like this, there would not be a cooler coffee mug.
There wouldn't.
There wouldn't. Can we put a little filter on it too?
Yeah.
So my coffee can breathe.
So that's what the baffle part looks like.
Okay.
So you got the little instructions here, like attention, I clean it out like once per year, inactive usage. So you like open it up here, you take everything off, clean it with a brake cleaner, I guess, and just stuff it back in there.
Dude, where are we gonna put this thing?
Oh my god.
What? What?
Look, this is the like little like drink part. So you put this on, and then you can just drink out of there. There you go. Isn't that pretty cool?
Yeah, but this thing's a little heavy. I'd rather just have like this be my mug, just to make a lid for it where I could put a straw. All right. I think this is the greatest thing you've ever done.
Try it. It's horrible.
So we're actually mounting it kind of similar to my R32, and it's going to be tucked up in here, so it'll be really easy to drain. especially when you're doing oil changes and stuff. Like I said, it shouldn't really get much in there at all, but at least being up here, it'll be really easy to access and service, and it'll look really clean instead of taking up a bunch of space in the engine bay. Look at how nice this setup looks. But the final touch, Alberto, you want to hold the camera and I'll do the honors? It does not get more OEM spec than putting the actual Japanese timing like belt service mark on it. So this is basically the mileage when the whole like timing service was done, and then this is the year and the month. So she's going on. Me and Alberto have been geeking out about this. What do you think right there?
Yes. Is this right?
Looks it. I think so.
Oh, it looks so cool. Now it's an official JDM engine.
Look at that. How hyped are you on that, Alberto?
Very.
Is there a bubble there? This bubble's or not. Stay. It's okay. Looks good. Don't rub over the Sharpie. Oh, we got power steering now, so I'm gonna go test her out, do some rips around the street. Is this all tight, Alberto?
Wait, no, I'm not done yet. I was still like clocking the hoses to where I wanted them.
And then you'll tighten them.
But yeah, you can just put the intake and all that. I have to tighten the clamps on there underneath here.
Okay, gotcha.
The clamps, I mean the fittings.
Yeah. All right, good work, Alberto. Pretty much done with this thing now, huh? Some little minor stuff to do tomorrow, and
here's done, pretty much.
got to do coils and
oh yeah, that.
Just kind of keep driving around, checking for leaks and stuff. We found, unfortunately, what appears to be in that oil pan that we got. Who knows who modified it? There's a little pinhole in one of the welds, so it's leaking ever so slightly. So Alberto is going to redo that weld on the oil pan. Sucks, kind of a annoying thing to do, but it's a good thing that we were able to like catch it by driving around, because you only notice it when it gets a little warm. So anyway, that's it for working on this car today. Gotta do the Gana doors too. I cannot get over how good this thing is. I'm gonna miss this thing a lot. Especially now that I don't have my Skyline to drive around. It's so rad too how with the windows open, like it's so rad too that when the windows are up, all you really hear is a turbo spool. Sounds so cool.